then duplicating a passport is very easy to do. Same thing with breeding. That's basically what the breeding does. Is it duplicates a real document.
No, yeah.
Using
right. You are right. I just want to have you to defend the first point. The first.
The big point
right,
there.
The big point.
Emphasize. Bring out. Don't just put breeding in little parentheses. Breeding is probably the biggest point here, because breeding defeats all of these clever things, because you end up using the process, explaining the manufacturing process itself to make yourself a completely authentic document.
That's the
breeding.
First,
do you have a separate slide on the breeding? Because breeding.
No, but I have one, but I didn't include it in this set. I mean, I have it as an extra slide.
Breeding is so fundamental here.
Okay.
This is. I would like to see a separate slide on breeding.
Okay.
Because breeding, you just say, all of these objections, they can be defeated by this broader argument. You go up the process till you find the weak link, and then you focus on that link. Yes, I agree. This is indefeatable when you're down here at this branch of the tree.
Well, you said
you just go up and up and up until you find the weak parts, and then that's it.
Okay. I will add in I have two slides that talk. One talks about the identity fraud process, and one talks about the ABC. So
in the very beginning of everything is looking at birth registries, and there's lots. And no matter how you think it through, you're getting DNA of that birth. Then the only plausible way of getting it is you extract some blood and you put it in. But then it's a digital copy, and from then on it's copyable.
Right. Okay. I need to add in the ABC. So okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Push ahead.
I talked about specifically what this research is. First research question is, what attributes do individual experts perceive that make identity documents credible? And the second one is how the experts as a group rate the importance of each item on what is now an aggregate or pooled list of attributes. Okay, so that's what this research is actually about. And it was done in two phases that were exactly like this. The first phase addresses that first research question. That's the process of using the repertory grid interviews to get that information from the experts. Then a composite list of those attributes is presented to them, and the second round of interviews is asking them to rate the importance of each characteristic on that composite list.
The second bullet, begin with first and capitalize it, so it looks symmetric.
Oh, first research and second research, okay. Sure.
This is a key slide, and this is fun. Anybody?
I described the round one repertory grid interviews, what it does. Basically what I asked them to do was to tell me in their own words what the underlying constructs of credibility are. That's what the methodology does. In addition to that, in the first round, I also asked them to identify any trends that they were aware of or that they foresaw as experts in their industry. Trends that they foresee that could completely change the way they go about evaluating identity documents. And the second thing that I asked them was specifically about the fraud potential, the highest and lowest fraud potential documents on the list of elements, on the list of representative documents that I used for the process.
Say it again.
I asked them to tell me the highest and lowest fraud potential documents in their experience. In their experience, generally passports and driver's license have the lowest potential for fraud. Those are the most credible. And the least credible is employee or employer documents and business cards.
What did you do with this trends information?
The trends, that's what I use the trends to create the four scenarios that I'm going to talk about. And I just give some examples of some of the underlying constructs of the table.
Paul Schumacher, by the way, was a PhD student.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
He was also Dutch. I've been to his house.
Okay. Was he?
He comes from a very wealthy family. Actually.
Was he doing this kind of research?
His house doesn't even have a number. That's a name.
Yeah, I've been in one place inside Europe like that where there's a friend of a friend who has just, it's a name, and that it's the X house in X city. That's it. Was he doing this kind of research when you were working with him?
Yeah, he worked with Howard Henry there.
Yeah, that's another name that I saw in some of
the way that people assess insurance
future and
very
vignette and scenarios to assess
low probability, high loss events, like earthquakes, hurricanes.
Okay. So anyway, I just talked about how you build scenarios. Essentially what it is, there were 6 trends identified by the experts, and just to keep it manageable, I split the 6 trends into 2 groups of 3.
But wait, you still haven't told us, what are you going to do with the scenarios?
The scenarios I ask the experts to evaluate, to rate the importance of the characteristics.
Your slide 11 tells us about repertory grids.
Yes.
Then you start telling us about building scenarios, but you're not telling us why you're building scenarios.
Okay.
You're now leading into how you got these scenarios, etc.
Yes, but I'm not saying why.
But you didn't say, so are you now telling us about round 2?
Yes.
Repertory grid was round 1.
Yes,
Slide
I know.
says round 1.
Yes. No, I am
So
not.
you expect there to be a slide 2 that says round 2.
Slide, I guess maybe I have to include that or say that in slide 10. Slide 10 talks about first research question is round 1, and I use the repertory grid to do that. The second research question is round 2, and I use the scenarios in round 2.
But I would expect a new slide between 11 and 12 that starts off saying round 2.
Okay.
Look at slide 11.
Yes.
Go back to slide 11.
And
Says round
1. This
Now, next one should say round 2,
yeah.
and something about scenarios.
Okay.
I mean, you physically conducted 2 rounds of interview. The first round, and then return to the same expert, the same people.
And actually a larger group of people in round 2 because the requirements for experience were not as high as the round 2 interviews. But yeah.
You might want to add the round 1, round 2 on slide 8, research model. That's,
Okay.
round 1 is the first.
Round 1 is the first circle, round 2 is the second circle.
Yeah,
At least.
if you saw round 1, round 2 there, then you know what to expect.
Good point.
Okay. And maybe at the same time I can split it up into 2 lines.
Would you also say something about the sample size in round 1 and round 2?
Yeah, I have it in the document, not in the presentation yet.
Okay, just the line, sample size.
Okay. Round 1, round 2, talk about sample size. Okay. And I was at slide 13. You remember that too? Into the numbers for starting. Okay, so I had 6 trends. I split them into 2 groups of 3. So, and then if you think of each group of 3 as being, a trend can go in one of 2 directions. It can either take place the way the experts forecast it, or it cannot take place the way the experts forecast it. And just to limit my research to 4 scenarios, that's why I split them into 2 groups of 3. So if you consider the 2 groups to be group A and group B, either you can have A or not A. That's the assumption I